Guys, welcome to Crypto Talk Now. I'm Larry, and this is Max, and this is the Max and Larry Show. We are so grateful that you decided to spend your evening with us for an hour and a half to 2 hours. And we have so many great things to talk about. There's some good news, and there's also some craziness going on with Terra Luna. There's some exciting news about Saitama that we're going to get into. But before we do that, guys, let's say hello to Max. Max, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, Larry. I look very much forward to today's show. We're going to go over a few hot topics as normal, a few big announcements, and we'll get right into the show. Looking forward to it. So thanks, everybody.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen over here so everybody can see. And I want to kind of jump over to Crypto Bubbles and take a look at what's going on. So as you can see here, Saitama, of all things, is up 101%. And we're going to get into the reason why. So I've been, probably like the last hour just looking at Saitama, hour and a half. And then Luna I've been looking at on and off all day. If you want to play a little bit of the guessing game, I'll let you try to see if you can guess if I purchased anything else other than Luna.
Sure. And it's on the screen or no?
It could be.
It could be. Please.
What? Let me put the top 100 on there.
It could be.
Okay. Now, like, what do you think I purchased? I'll give you just 2 guesses.
Okay. Oh man. I think you bought more CRO.
Nope.
And no? Okay.
No. Oh, common sense is gonna guess Crow.
You know what? I'm gonna say Smooth Low Potion.
No, that's a good guess though. Now, actually, I didn't buy anything. That's what was a little bit of a trick question.
Gee, thanks. Thanks. I'll remember in the future. You scandalous person, you.
I didn't buy anything. So what I've been doing is kind of watching. I'll tell you the story for everybody that's watching us. And let's just welcome everyone coming in. We've got 10 people filing in here. Welcome, guys. We've got welcome to Tar.
Welcome, everybody.
He guesses Pulse Chain. He's excited about Hex. I need to get Hex very soon. I'm waiting for it. I don't know if it's at 10 cents yet, but I'm going to look soon. Clash Royale says my favorite YouTubers. Welcome, Clash Royale.
Thanks, Clash Royale. Appreciate that.
Common Sense says Crow. That's a really solid guess. Probably wind up buying Crow another day, but so Common Sense actually sent me some information. Kingsman sent me some information. There's so many things to talk about. So I'll tell you my really fast Luna story. So you guys know that I bought, Max and I have been buying Terra Luna. I had over 50,000, and then I was messing around with some dust in my trust wallet, and I bought $7 worth, and I think it was like 120,000 something. I know some people got millions, right? I bought like 100
lotto tickets, right? Right.
What's that?
Lotto tickets.
Yeah, that basically scratch off tickets. But I'm just messing around, and I'm sitting down for a second, and I'm looking at my phone. And all of a sudden, it was at like $304, and I started panicking. I was like, "Oh, I got to hurry up and trade this." By the time I was ready, like first I was just in shock. Then I was trying to hurry up and trade it. And by the time I did that, it had already dropped back down. So welcome, Michael Dawson. I'm still holding over. Wow. 22 trillion Saitama. How about that? That's a lot. Well, so as you guys may or may not know, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Phantom and other things like Luna. But Max and I want to talk to you about Saitama because Saitama went to a V2. Shout out to Classic Crypto. He's the first I found out. I know they had an AMA. I wasn't paying attention, but I saw on Twitter.
Well, they haven't said that implemented the V2 yet. There's a date for that, which is the 18th. But yes,
is that when it is? The 18th?
The 18th.
Okay, good.
If I'm not mistaken, that's what it says. The 18th. So,
a crypto fan, you must be holding 220 trillion of Terra Luna. I don't know if I don't think he's talking about Saitama. I don't know. I'm not sure. But so what are your thoughts on the V2, Max, for Saitama?
I'm not a big fan of V2s in general, but moving forward with Saitama, I think it's the right route to go. Like I said, I mean, if it's warranted or, if it's something that's needed to, I guess you could say, save a project or have it go in the right direction and, it gets the community all excited again. Like, what do we always talk about, like, for the last few weeks when we did talk about Saitama? We talked about how there needs to be what? new excitement again. Kind of like, summer 2021, going up to the Vegas event, for instance. We need new excitement. If this is what's going to create new excitement, which it seems like that's what's going on, then I'm all for it. Let's create that new excitement. Let's move forward. If V2 has to be the thing, awesome. But at the end of the day, I would like to know how that's going to be implemented. Are we going to have to manually migrate our tokens? I mean, I'm sure all these things will be answered. Maybe some of it already is. I got to catch up a little bit on that. But to see Saitama, I mean, heck, it says 102% right now. I saw as high as like 140%. I mean, I'm sure some of the top influencers like Classy Crypto and so on probably is like, yeah, it's going parabolic. Well, that's not quite parabolic, but nonetheless, anything over 100% is pretty sweet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I just think that it's a big thing. I know, like, from a personal standpoint, just with this channel, and then also with me and Max together, it's going to help, just the channel in general, but it's going to help our show, Max, that Saitama does good. And I'll tell you why. Because on the show, I think I counted the other day 105 videos. It could be off by 1 or 2, but it looks like it's 105 videos on Saitama. And when Saitama started having trouble and not delivering with Saitama working properly, it just kind of like really deflated me. And I kind of, just lost interest, not in Saitama, but you just lost interest in covering it and really talking much about it because, it was a disappointment for me. But I think that the people in the space, at one point I counted like 32 different YouTubers that were covering Saitama like on a daily basis for, a consistent while. And I'm just like, I think this is going to be good for us. It's going to bring some excitement back. And I think Maxon and I will benefit. Hopefully it builds up our show even more in terms of audience. So I'm going to look forward to doing some videos on my own, and I'll see if we can do some videos together, Max and I, on Saitama and a bunch of other stuff. Before I turn it over to you again, Max, I just want to make this quick announcement because both Common Sense and Kingsman messaged me and asked me. Kingsman actually asked me to mention it. So I'm going to mention. I didn't really want to talk about it because I consider Phantom with a P kind of like a low impact token, just to kind of go back at them because they called us a low impact channel. But just so you guys know, I have it on my phone here. I'm not going to read it all to you, but Riz, the main developer, Matthew is the CEO and Riz is the COO. He has officially resigned his post as the COO of Phantom. So that's really quite interesting. Yeah, you didn't even know. I thought that would be a surprise to you, Max. What's your thoughts on that, Max?
My thoughts are wow, right? And then my other thought is like, is it because it was just too much of an emotional roller coaster with? I mean,
I'm laughing. Yeah.
Us retail investors, right? Like for a lot of us, especially people in Luna, it's just like a super emotional time, and rightfully so. So it's like, you told me some of the history, right? Some of the backstory that, he didn't want to come on camera for a while. It's something he was uncomfortable with, but he got out of his comfort zone. I don't know. Maybe with all the criticism and so on, he could handle. I don't know the reasons. I would like to know if anybody knows the reason. So
I don't know. I need to start going and looking. I haven't been in a few days to look at the Phantom Telegram. I guess I can kind of eavesdrop, but I just want to give a shout out. Both Max and I want to welcome some of our guests that just joined us. Mr. Streets is a regular. Welcome, Mr. Streets. And let's see who else we've got here. Terrafin, he was here already, but he says, remember, Hex is a complete project and the code is immutable. Yeah, you sound like Richard Hart now.
Remember, it's not a complete project. It's a complete product.
It's a product, right?
Remember, I'm even learning this how to talk, when it comes to Hex. But yeah, I hear you.
So just a big announcement. So we're gonna know the show is gonna make a big impact because we're gonna really, one of our goals is we're gonna try to get Richard Hart on the show. Now that could be like 6 months from now, but I think we want to really get Richard Hart on here. Once we've gotten Richard Hart on here, then I think we've got a successful show. So
if Richard Hart's on the show, I'm gonna literally be like in shock, and I'd be like the whole time like.
You're going to be in shock the whole time?
I don't know, but it would be pretty amazing to have him on the show.
It would be cool.
I mean, like that guy's like up there with, the likes of like an Elon Musk or something like that. So,
Definitely. It looks like Luna is on the move. So what are your thoughts? So you can go ahead and we both kind of heard about, is it Daquan? Why don't you talk a little bit about Daquan? I can kind of pull it up over here. Hopefully I have the link still.
Daquan. Yeah, well, Daquan is, you mean Duquan. I know what you mean.
Is it Duquan or Daquan?
He probably wants to take a Daquan out by this.
He's doing a Daquan, yeah.
Yeah, he wants to take a Daquan. He probably wants to take a week Quan or a month Quan or a year Quan by now. But yeah, nonetheless, if you guys haven't seen this big announcement, straight from the actual Agora Terra money. And by the way, I noticed some of you guys are following the wrong Terra group. I meant to mention this to you, Larry. That one that's $sign Terra.
Tell me what is the official group. I can't figure it out.
The one you're following and retweeted is a fake
wrong,
one.
Right? Yeah.
The one you guys want to follow is the Terra _ money, I believe is what it's called. So just throwing that out there. That's the official one you want to follow. Hey, Salmo. What's up, man? So you want to follow, the official one, because at the end of the day, why do we want to help anybody who's fake?
I noticed it was wrong because it had that little PayPal donation, and then I went over to CoinMarketCap.
Yeah, it's fake.
And I tried to see if they had like a social link, and there was no link for Twitter. I was almost going to post it. Someone please give me the official.
Yeah. So what happened is I went to CoinMarketCap, and then from there I verified, okay, this is the real one, and so on. So I just decided to block the other one and whatnot. But anyway.
Yeah.
So big announcement, guys. If you haven't seen it already, at gore.terra.money, this is straight from Duquan, whatever you want to call it. Duquan, yeah.
Duquan.
Anyway, here, if you want to be positive about it, at the end of the day, there's so much negativity. We get it. But if you want something positive, look at it this way. I mean, of course, I'm not trying to butter this guy up or anything, but I will say this. He could have chose to run and hide. He didn't choose to run and hide. He's addressing some of the issues, and at least there's something going on. At the end of the day, I am rooting for this to work, not only just for myself, who just recently got into it, but of course all those people who lost their you-know-what on this. So, for instance, it says the Terra community must reconstitute the chain to preserve the community and the developer ecosystem. Validators should reset the network ownership to 1 billion tokens distributed among, of course, the following. And it has a breakdown in regards to how all this is going to work. You guys can, of course, look at it all. I'm not going to read everything because I don't want to bore you guys too much with it, but I will highlight a few things that caught my eye. So one thing that really caught my eye is where it says 100 million, which is 10% to Luna holders at the final moment of the chain halt. Last minute marginal Luna buyers should be compensated for their role in attempting to provide stability for the network. I interpreted this, and again, this is just my interpretation, that they're somehow going to decipher, the amount of holders that were currently there, and also depending on, I guess you could say, how much they held and how much it was worth at the time before the major crash, in which they will be compensated. So that basically means those who held and didn't sell their position while the crash happened. Now, all those who did sell their position, I imagine they are SLL. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Their position. But for those who, I guess you could say, still hodled, they will be compensated at least 10%. Now, granted, for the guy who, owned $1 million worth, right? 10% of that is like, well, that's significant. I mean, it sucks, but at least it's something, and at least they're trying to recognize that. Now,
let me interrupt you 1 second, Max. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to welcome a few people as they're filing in here. So Paul says, what's up, everyone? So hello, shout out to Paul 208, and also Legal Alien, Yo, Max, and Larry. So glad you guys could join us. So yeah, Stelmo Flood, we said hello to him. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Max. I just wanted to say hello to some of our guests coming in.
Paul 208, I wonder if that's my neighbor. Anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what I was gonna state is just reading what I was saying earlier. So for instance, the 10%, that's the way I interpret it. At least it's something better than nothing, right? But here's the thing that some people are like, man, this kind of sucks. So if you're somebody who just recently got into Luna, like myself, for like, let's face it, the purposes of a lottery ticket, right? A crypto lottery ticket is the way a lot of us are looking at this. And for us, again, this is up into, for interpretation, because there's nothing that's really been like, I guess you could say, defined, because a lot of this is just like we read it and there's no like Q&A or a town hall, if you will, to verify some of these statements and some of these questions. So let me just reiterate this. To my interpretation, all those who came in late post crash, who basically bought like a Terra Luna lotto ticket, that went to fund the 10%.
Yeah.
They're going to have a restructure of this whole thing to create a whole brand new ecosystem. That was what the nodes, or the validators, I should say, they came in together. How should I state this? It's kind of like you look at Congress, right? At the end of the day, the president of the United States can't just dictate like us going to war or whatever, right? It's got to be proposed to Congress. So at the end of the day, it's like with this, the validators came through and said, look, Duquan, we're going to listen to your suggestions, but we're not going to necessarily do what your suggestions are. We got to, we'll listen to that. We'll take, whatever sounds good or whatever. And at the end of the day, we're going to implement what we voted on, because we got to do something as a collective group. And moving forward, to my interpretation, this is what they're going to do. Unfortunately, they're going to take some of that they made, I guess you could say, on the back end, right? All these people that came in, and that's going to go towards compensating this. That is what I interpret. That's what a lot of other people have interpreted. But that doesn't mean it's the end all be all. And my hope, of course, is that, okay, maybe it's just a percentage of the Terra Luna, not the UST, will go towards trying to stabilize this thing in UST, but not the full 100% that they just basically put in. Because if that's the case, that's just like,
well,
taking what we have, flushing down the toilet.
Yeah,
I
understand everything he's laid out here, and you've done a great job explaining it to everybody. But from what I'm seeing here, I feel like we're outside of this little box. We're not part of the 40-40-10-10. We're just like, I don't know where we are. Like you said, we're kind of funding the problem, or trying to fix the problem, like with the money that we just put in for the lottery. And
well, there's hope. Here's the hope. For instance, I saw it go all the way down to 6 zeros this morning. And at the time before, like maybe like an hour or two before it went to 6 zeros, I got mine at like my second bag. I know it sounds crazy. So I bought $30 worth. It was my second bag. It was 1.13 million worth for about roughly $30 on KuCoin. And then, of course, a couple hours later, it went down to 6 zeros and the number, but it bounced back up. And then, at one point today, I even made money on my bag. That tells me a couple of things. For one, number one, when they posted this plan for the ecosystem announcement, that plan in itself did help a little bit. Because, I mean, if you think about it, if there was like no plan at all and it was just a bunch of nonsense, the thing would just keep tanking and tanking and tanking. And we would see things like, low market cap projects, like where they have 15 zeros, right? I'm not going to name some of those because I don't want to throw those projects in the same category, because it is an apples and oranges comparison, to the exception of what? It being 15 zeros. But let's face it, guys, this could have tanked more. It could have went to, like, say, instead of 6 zeros, could have went to 8, 15. If it would have went above 15 zeros, then it's just like, at that point, I mean, they would just need to completely abandon all of it and say, look, we're just doing this for the community, which some people have stated, and this is going to be a whole new contract. It's still going to be called Terra, but I don't know. I've seen some other ones they're talking about, like X Luna coin, and then there's some other proposal from the governance board to literally have 3 brand new tokens, but they're not officially called like Luna. It's like a branch off of it. Again, that is not the official statement on what they're going to do. But if you go on, for instance, their community forums and so on, these are some of the proposals from the governance board, if you will, moving forward, I should say.
Did Binance relist it? Do you know, or did you already cover that? Because I
do not know if Binance relisted. There's been so much back and forth with that. I imagine it hasn't been relisted, but
they said they were going to. I saw a tweet from Watcher Guru saying that they were going to relist it, but then he also tweeted that there was a delay. So I'm just wondering if anybody out there in the audience knows if Terra has been relisted on Binance, because I think it'll have a trickle down effect. Because right now my, everything that's on crypto.com is frozen. So, I bought it. Actually, I bought it on Binance. They have like multiple chains for Terra Luna. I didn't even realize that. So I have it on the Binance chain and just through my Trust wallet. But I just was wondering if anybody knows. What's to say here? So Mr. Street says if they threw in the towel, you would see zero balance with no data. They're trying to keep it going. Yeah, I think it's on good sign. He says, I think it's on life support. So I'm not really
there is hope. There's a
yeah.
literally it's on it's kind of like this thing's on in critical condition. It's on life support, but it's not dead.
I
What I
missed
mean?
my opportunity, man. The other day, was it yesterday? Everything seems like a blur. I think it was yesterday when all this craziness went down. I think it was around 5 o'clock my time. It spiked up to like over 5 cents. I had my chance right there because I was like dollar cost averaged in at like 1.25 cents. So I could have like made it right there, and then it just crashed from there. So did buy some more, but yeah, I'm not like my target really at this point. If it goes to like around 3 cents, I mean, that would be
Well,
huge for so many people. So
my thing was, I said I was gonna wait for it to go down to a penny because, my friend like he got it into like 20 cents or whatever, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm just gonna wait till it crashed to a penny. I was thinking it probably could go further than that, but I just didn't want to take a chance because the previous day I literally saw it fluctuate from 82 cents to like $3, and I was just like, I just didn't want to take that chance again. So I was comfortable with getting one bag, and I said to myself, look, if it tanks more, just have a little bit left to get another bag. It's no big deal. And that's literally what I did. So I bought a second bag for the, what was it, 0.0, or sorry, 0.3 zeros and no, 0.4 zeros and a 2. And that's why I was able to get the 1.13 million. And I actually made money on that bag technically because, 4 zeros is more than 3. But there's hope in regards to this. It's not completely dead. You do see people from the community very passionate about wanting to see this thing go in the right direction. It is going to take some time, but at the end of the day, for me, what made me make that decision to buy the second bag, again, not financial advice, was on my previous bag. It was like I was saying to Larry, well, man, I got to wait for this to go to like $25 or something again, which is crazy, just to get like, I guess you could say like $500,000 or something like that. By buying the second position, the second bag, now I don't have to worry about that. All I have to do is worry about going to like 50 cents and that'll be like $500,000. Or hell, if it went to obviously $1, it'd be like well over $1 million. But I mean, in reality, are those things likely to happen? Probably not. Is there a chance? Yeah. Do I like my chances better than winning the lottery? Yes, absolutely, 100%. Chances of winning the lottery like 1 in 258 million or something like that. Yeah, better chance of getting struck by lightning. Yeah.
My chance is 0 because I don't play the lottery. I already have enough lottery tickets with some of these tokens that I'm invested in gambling with. So yeah. So where do you want to go from here? So Luna, boy, I'll tell you what, if it goes up just a couple pennies, it's going to do so much for so many people. Because I mean, even like Common Sense was saying, he just bought like 30 million Stellar Luna, 30 million Terra Luna. So yeah.
Well, it's all reflective off of Terra USD, which is UST, the ticker symbol. And looking at that, I mean, it looks a lot healthier compared to what it was this morning. I mean, currently it's almost at like 21 cents. I mean, yeah, it's still down, but come on. I mean, at least it's not, at least Terra or UST, right? The unstable coin, might as well just call it that right now, right? At least this unstable coin UST is not 0.4 zeros in the number. Because if that was also that, like just like how Terra Luna is, right, which is 3 zeros or whatever, and it reflected that same amount, then it's just like, dude, it's a complete wash 100%. It's not a complete wash 100%. A lot of other people are going to say it is. Oh, you're crazy, you're wasting your money and so on. Again, I get it. But still, there's still a chance that this thing could do something. I'm not going to say there's a chance that it's going to go up to like, $116 all-time highs by the end of the year again. Let's be realistic. Is there a chance that it could go to, heck, man, I mean, if they can somehow get this like past 80 cents, that would be a huge step in the right direction as far as their unstable coin goes. Now, as far as Terra Luna goes, if they can even get that back to the positive, let's say like more than 10 cents, back to $1, and just like every day you can consistently see that there's good things coming, they could rebound. You never know. Crazy things happen in crypto. Somebody brought up an article, and I'll bounce it back to you, Larry, in a second.
No, you're fine.
Somebody brought up an article, and you guys can look into yourself. This is what's really interesting and caught my eye. Because Terra Luna at one point was in the top 5, as we know. Somebody brought up this article stating that Bitcoin back in, I think it was like 2010, in its first infant years, did crash below like a penny or something like that. Like went down 99%, and it rebounded. I'm not saying that's going to happen with Terra Luna, but it does make you at least think, wow, well, different times, right? Different circulating supply, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But it does make you think, like, look, if it was able to happen once, it could happen again. Again, I'm not saying $116 all-time highs, but let's face it, if this thing went back up to like even $1 or $2, a lot of us are going to be making quite a bit of money on that.
Wow.
Talking about who? Talking about us who came in obviously after the crash. I'm not talking about the people who lost their what, who had like millions of this at $80 a whack.
Yeah, I feel bad for those people that just got completely wiped out. People that lost, even if you lost $100, $1,000, and people are losing millions of dollars. I mean, that's just scary stuff. So hopefully anybody, if you're watching this and you lost a lot, I mean, a lot of us got crushed, in the last couple months here with the way the market's been going. But it's money, and you can earn it back. You can do it again. If you did it before, you can get it back. So hopefully, if anybody's watching this, just keep your chin up. I don't think anybody's watching this right now that lost $1 million with Terra, but there definitely are people out there that did that.
Moral of the story is take profits off the top. Be a little bit greedy, but not too greedy. I think that's the lesson learned here, especially when it comes to Terra Luna.
For sure. What do you want to talk about now, Max? I mean, it's up to you. I've got all the tabs open here.
Well, actually, let's see here.
We missed the boat. We missed the boat on this one. I'm sorry, but you can go ahead.
Yeah, for me, I was wanting to buy my lotto tickets instead of playing it safe. So basically, guys, on my birthday, May 12th, even before that, I made a call on Step App. If you would have been one of those people who decided, again, not financial advice, but decided just to get into Step App, it was something that competes with GMT, which was the one that came before that. But again, with GMT, that's a honeypot. You can't sell that. At least that's what Missions on Tokens stand for. I get it that maybe that needs to be updated. However, the safer play would have been Step App. So, as we know about all the play to win, watch to earn, and all these things, this is literally like, exercise to earn. And it's really been just crushing it, I guess you could say. Like, people really catching on to this. They're liking the app. I guess it has really good functionality. And just in general, I'll just put it this way, it's doing really well. So on May 12th, it was about 9 cents. If you would have gone on or got into it on May 12th at around 9 cents, or May 11th, I believe, one or the other, you would have 3x'd, because it's currently, I believe,
that's it right here, right?
Yeah, well, it dropped a little bit. So, for instance, I did see this a little above 30 cents. But yeah, I mean, earlier today, you would have basically 3x on the Step App. And if you're wondering why we even mention this, it's ranked 2,834. Guys, this has been listed on Crypto.com's app for, I want to say, about 3 weeks, something like that. So it's still fairly new. And yeah, it's just a lot better of a project to get into compared to GMT. Don't get into GMT. If I was going to give financial advice, I would say don't get into GMT. It's a honeypot. At the end of the day, we don't want to see any of you guys, including us, in a honeypot. If you want that same type of concept, go with the safer play. Go with Step App, which is FitFi, ticker symbol on CMC.
Mr. Streets has got 6.5 trillion coins. I'm guessing he's talking about Terra Luna. That's insane, man. I don't know what the math is on a penny, but that's
you must have loaded up on your bags like at six zeros or something then.
Because, something like that. Yeah, he got a good deal. But yeah, hopefully it moves up.
But that's the whole thing. I mean, here's the thing: if it goes to like even $1, all those people who've FOMO'd in, right, as the saying goes, they all gotta get paid when they dump. It's like, how's that gonna work? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, the thing that's bothering me is that they're minting more of it. I think when it was pegged before, the Terra was getting burned. I think that's how it worked, but now it's not getting burned anymore. So,
well, that was the last announcement, was that they do plan on burning a significant amount of it.
I hope so.
If that's the case, it'll create at least scarcity while that volume is going up. Because I mean, the volume's still there because you got all these crazy buy orders. What sucks is you got way too many sell orders going off at the same time, and as a result, it's like it can't really recover the right way. I know none of us like the idea of anybody having control of that. Go ahead.
I feel like an idiot. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, Max. He's saying that Luna's supply is now 6.5 trillion coins. Okay, I don't know why I was thinking that was his bag. That means that he owned all of the tokens.
Yeah, you got to dump your position to be like the richest man in the whole world. So
he somehow magically got into everybody's wallet and owns all of it. Oh man, sorry, Max. I just wanted to clarify that. So what Mr. Street was saying. Yeah,
we won't put a lot of focus on Step App or anything like that. I mean, again, guys, take a look into it if you want. I mean, I personally want to get it right now because it's it's having pretty decent pumps. But I mean, gosh, I mean, what was it? Yesterday, basically yesterday, May 12th, it was 9 cents, and it's pretty much like 3x.
Damn it! Why is it wrong on Crypto Bubbles? I was just looking at Crypto Bubbles, and it's wrong. This is it right here, right, Step?
Yeah, that's way wrong.
This is wrong, dude. Like, okay, so you're right, man, because look over here. Where is it? It's at 27 cents. How come I didn't listen to you back then? Remember, nobody don't listen to Max or me. Only I can listen to Max. It's not financial advice. I should have listened to you.
I don't know. I did get a few good picks, but that's all right. I also had a bad pick. What was the bad pick of mine? Do you remember? What was my bad pick?
Let me think about this one.
I'll give you clues. It's in your face every day. It's literally in everyone's face every day.
Oh man, that's a good one.
I bet common sense knows.
Is it in the top 100?
Remember, I'll let you think about it a little more. I'm gonna read some of the comments. Du hast, I love your name, by the way. Du hast mich. Du hast mich. Anyway, what do you guys think about AMP? You know what? AMP has been on my watch list for a while, like literally since I don't know, probably about a year. Right when you think they're gonna have like this huge run up, it's just like maybe a penny or two, and that's what bothers me about them. It's just like, is there not enough burns going on? I don't know. I gotta look more into it. But yeah, when they do have a pump, it's decent. It's just not enough in which, like, I don't know, make me want to go crazy about getting into it. That's just me. Is that something you're just mainly thinking about possibly getting into? I'm actually gonna pull that up real quick.
AMP.
Yeah,
I thought I sold it off in the past at like 5 cents or something. I haven't had it for a long time.
I mean, there's decent returns you can make on AMP, but it's just, again, it's kind of like one of those ones in which like the highest it goes is like
5 cents.
I don't know. No, they had all-time highs of 12 cents. When was that? Let's see. I'm pulling up right now. So, all right, June 2021, it was all-time highs. But for some people that were in it back in that's everybody. I mean, for those who got into crypto, right, like in 2020, like they already made their fortune pretty much last year. And even some of it, like maybe, I wouldn't say some of it early this year. I would just say mainly last year. Yeah, AMP was great for those who got into it at like 0.003 and then saw all-time highs in roughly a year later, like not even a year later, like what is this, November 2020 all-time lows, and then I'm going to say all-time highs in June. Yeah, June 2021. So they only had to wait like 7 months. So that would have been great. But since then, it's only been like maybe a penny or two. But for a person that doing, I guess on swing trading, it wouldn't be too bad. Like, you know how you do Zilliqa,
Yeah,
Larry?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be too bad. But I would have to research it more in regards to that. There's just so many projects, as you guys know. So many.
Swing trading just works good with something that's very volatile, like Luna, like you were saying the other
Right.
day, would have been good.
Basically, things that don't have like much gas fees. I mean, if it's anything Ethereum based, then forget about it, right?
Yeah, for sure. I just want to give a shout out again to Common Sense. Sorry, I just need to drink some more water here. We all have to be quiet, and we just have to honor Common Sense because he is the OG. He's the first member of this channel. He joined on the stream the other day. So if you guys want to help support us, you guys can hit the little join button next to the subscribe button, and then that gives you a higher level of praise.
He's the real OG. I wonder if he's gonna bust a rap. He's gonna be like, yeah, this is Common Sense. With so much drama with the UST, it's kind of hard being Common Sense, the real OG. And I'm done. I can't say anything after that.
So that was good, actually. So he's asking about Rolodex. So the thing with Rolodex, as you guys may or may not know, we want everybody to go out there, the crypto talk army, I guess you can call it, to go out and to these telegrams, just because it's annoying for me to do. And Max is always busy researching everything. And my job is to get you guys to go into the telegrams and into your communities and bring the developers back to this show. And I did reach out to the devs at Rolodex on Twitter, and they said they do want to come on. I said, if you guys want to come on, Monday or Tuesday next week, and I didn't hear back from them. I think that a lot of people are just caught up with the drama in the market or the crazy swings that's going on with everything, with Luna, with Terra Luna. So, so we'll wait to hear back. I'm sure they will come on. So also Mr. Street says, keeping a good eye on Gala and SLM. I'm not sure about SLM. I did buy some Gala the other day, luckily. Again, he says, what do you guys think? And what do you guys think in the chat?
I don't know what SLM is. I mean, unless that was a typo, you meant SLP, which is smooth low.
Oh, maybe he means SLP. Yeah, I bought some SLP the other day.
But then again, check to see if there's an SLM real quick. SLM.
That's what I'm checking right now. Oh, there's
Solomon DeFi. Huh.
Solomon DeFi?
Solomon DeFi.
I don't know what that is. I wonder if he means SLP. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it might. Well, let's see where it's positioned on the keyboard. Well, no, that's kind of far away. So,
are you doing like keyboard forensics?
But I mean, like fat fingers. I mean, no offense. I mean, he may have fat fingers.
He does have a pretty fat finger to hit the L. Okay, well, he can let us know in the chat.
But if you meant Solomon DeFi, I mean, it is up 10%.
Oh, there's your answer.
All right.
He meant my bag, SLP. Okay, oops.
All right,
okay.
So yeah, let's take a look at I think they're up like, I don't know, 20% or something.
Smooth Love Potion.
30%. All right.
31%.
So, hey, I'm doing all right. Larry, I'm doing all right.
I'm waiting for it to get to like 10 cents.
All right, so back to where the big one that stood out. Did anybody guess it? Come on, you guys guessed the bad one I recommended?
Oh yeah, let me think of the bad one. All right, let me go back.
It wasn't financial advice though, but it was one of the ones I did recommend.
But we're still gonna hold you accountable.
All right.
Let's see here. So
I'll give you guys another minute to guess what it was.
Okay, it's on this page in the top 100 right now.
I don't know. I think it probably dropped by now. It used to be the top 100.
Okay, so it wasn't Chili's, right?
No, that's not financial advice, but that's a safe play. I need to load up on some. I should have loaded up on some Chili's because it went below 10 cents the other day.
Oh, it wouldn't be Tron, right?
I will say this: I'm still going to load up on it because the World Cup is coming up, and I need to load up on it.
Oh, it was sand. Mr. Street says sand, so that's got to be
No, it's not sand. I'll give you guys 2 more chances. That's it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we're not talking about me because I think I gave everybody.
Okay, we guys one last clue, and that is this: it's connected to the top headlines, and that's all I'm going to say.
Oh shoot! So the top headlines are just Saitama and Terra Luna.
Okay, well you're close to Terra Luna. You're too close with that.
Oh,
come on.
Shoot. It's really bugging me.
All right, you guys give up?
I give up.
All right.
Toot, toot, toot.
ANC, Anchor Protocol.
Oh.
Remember I was saying, I was like, you guys want to
Yeah.
get like 18, to 20% on your stable coins. You're going to have to get
Mhm.
UST, and then you're going to have to pair it with ANC. That
Let's
was a
see.
bad recommendation. So
Is it A and Nancy and Cat?
yeah,
Anchor Protocol?
Anchor Protocol.
Where the heck
Because
is
I
it?
mean, that's also what was part of the whole mess. It's
Yeah,
because they just kept like just basically like depleting everything from Anchor, and then what's his name, Max Maher, literally called it spot on a week before it even happened, and then of course
Oh
he did
yeah,
the
I know
follow
that
up.
big YouTuber dude. He got wrecked on Terra. I think he
Yeah,
said
but
he had a lot of Terra
he
Luna. And he got
addressed that. He called it. He was like, if this thing with Anchor Protocol keeps happening, you're going to see something like really bad happen to UST. And boy, was he spot on that. Yeah, something really bad happened. The worst crypto crash of a single coin project or product, whatever you want to call it, in the history of crypto. So I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Anchor Protocol. See, these are good things to see. Kind of, I don't know. Some people say it's good things. Some people say it's bad things because in reality, if you have too much volume in this, and this is still tied to the peg, and the thing is of UST, and the peg isn't working, obviously, then it's like, well, what the heck are we going to do? I imagine Anchor Protocol needs to say something like, I want to see their official announcement, to be honest. Just real quick before you say what you're going to say, and that is this: they need to make some kind of official announcement saying only those who are currently stake can stake, and then stop staking. Because if they allow people to continue to stake, right, it's still part of this huge mess. You know what I mean? It's just how are they going to get things turned around? It's like a trifecta, if you will. I mean, with UST, Terra Luna, and then of course Anchor Protocol. So I don't know. I have to go in there and see just for my own personal research because I'm curious about it.
Well, there is a little bit of an announcement here about a day ago, 23 hours ago. It says, Anchor users, please stop interacting with X Anchor and ETH Anchor or bridging B ETH, AVAX, Solana, and Atom collaterals to Terra as the blockchain has halted. So, there's Duquan. He says, Dear Terra community. There's like nothing there.
No,
Getting to
that's old stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
old stuff.
yeah.
Let's see what he says. You know what? Let's just go to his Twitter profile. I'll follow him.
It's the same stuff basically. Oh, 3 hours ago he said something, huh?
Here we go. He says, I've spent the last few days on the phone calling Terra community members, builders, community members, employees, friends, and family that have been devastated by
Just
UST begging. Okay.
just re-click on that one. Don't click on the ones below that. That way it opens up like it's a forum thread. There you go.
Yeah.
And then you can follow. You can see the next thing. So what does he say on statement 2?
I am heartbroken about the pain
No,
my
not that.
investors.
I mean, I know
Down here, right?
we're all hot. Yeah, number 2.
Yeah,
There you go.
I still believe that decentralized economies deserve decentralized money, but it is clear that UST in its current form will not be that money. Neither I nor any institutions that I'm affiliated with profited in any way from this incident. I sold no Luna nor UST during this crisis. We are currently working on documenting the use of LFG BTC reserves.
Yeah, we are currently working on documenting the use of the "Let's effing go." That's usually what that means, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out if that means or not. Reserves during the depegging event. Please be patient with us as our teams are juggling multiple tasks at the same time. There are multiple proposals on Agora on the best steps to move forward for the community. After having read many of them, I've put down my thoughts of what I think the best steps are. Okay, this is long. What we are looking, what does it say? What we should look to preserve now is the community and developers that make Terra's block space valuable. I'm sure our community will form consensus around the best path forward for itself and find a way to rise again. My recommendation is to stop trying to bring in new victims to fund the previous victims and leave the space forever. That's what we are, Max. We're new victims. He even says it right here. It's sad that there are victims, but when these victims want new people to buy in and bail them out, that seems pretty hypocritical and shameful.
Right.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's him. BSV. Okay, so that kind of makes me feel. Oh, Richard Hart says here, you got rich on Luna exchanges, people that promoted it to you and dumped on you, coin ranking sites selling ads on pages for it. Basically, everyone but the victims and honest projects deprived of users by the scam industrial complex. That's pretty harsh.
Well, that's a bold statement. Instead of the military industrial complex, now he's saying the scam industrial complex.
Oh man. Yeah, so there was some funny business that went on there. I heard it was an effort to I don't really understand it, to be upfront, but they drove everything down. They drove the price of Bitcoin down, and then those two, what is it, Citadel and the other guys there, they came in and swooped up and bought Bitcoin. I really don't understand exactly what they did, but it looks like it was a coordinated attack. I can say that much.
Yeah, I don't know. There's somebody that posted some highlights about it, but I mean, it hasn't been 100% confirmed yet in regards to the whole thing with Citadel and BlackRock, if it was malicious. Some
Yeah.
people are saying it was. Some people are saying, well, we need more evidence, but I don't know. I know that someday we'll definitely find out, especially if there's a big investigation, but
Yeah.
you never know. You just don't know.
No, you don't. So now I'm kind of
You don't know
wondering.
what you don't know.
I'm kind of wondering what he means by us bailing out the previous victims. If the people that are buying, like you and me and Common Sense and everybody out there, if we're just
Right? That's what I was saying
maybe whipping
earlier,
in the
right?
wind.
To my interpretation was like, I mean, at the end of the day, I was just trying to buy lotto tickets, right? I'm not trying.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody, I'm not trying to bail anybody out with my, it's like that'd be like the last recession, right? Was it 2008, 2009, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the government bailing out the big banks, right? They're like, well, we're going to have the middle class just do it. But in reality, that's what happened. The middle class taxpayers who basically fund everything in government anyway, right? So there, I guess end of discussion. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening again, right?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
yep, it's happening again. Only this time we're doing it. We're bailing them out. CBC live in June. We'll have to wait and see. I know they're upgrading it. I think that's what he's getting at. Max ERC 20 pulse swap. Mr. Street says, right, I'm still trying to find out some of my SHIBs staking outcome crazy. Last time I felt this was XRP scandal.
Oh,
So,
this is way worse than that. Way worse than that.
yeah.
If anything, it's just like the whole thing with the SEC. I mean, that's still an ongoing thing. Granted, I get it, but it's like this overshadows that. Like, nobody's even talking about XRP at the moment.
Yeah.
Other than us who are maybe on the fence about the risk to reward ratio, but so far our risk to reward ratio isn't working out too well with the whole. I guess you could say gambling and buying these lotto tickets.
I'll be right.
All right. Well, Larry says he'll be right back. We'll be right back. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share my screen real quick. And I won't be able to share my screen real quick because he has to approve it. So I'm going to read some of you guys' comments. Common Sense says CVC live in June. Sweet. That sounds pretty darn cool. And then Mr. Street says, last time I felt this was okay. Yeah, you mentioned the whole thing with XRP. I'm just going to catch up on some of these comments real quick. I guess we kind of covered some of this. Well, it looks like Larry's back, so that's good.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to play this. I didn't mean to play the audio, but I will say this: that some people felt he was kind of arrogant in this little interview here. I don't know if did you see this one?
Yeah, where he's talking about poor people and stuff. Like all those people are just poor people. Yeah, he's taking a lot of backlash from that comment or that interview.
Yeah, we can just listen. It's just a couple seconds if you want to listen to it.
There's entertainment. Oh man, that's so at least you get to learn from it, right? I wonder how many of these companies you think are entering the space just because it's hot and there's a lot of funding versus the ones that will still be here,
95% are going higher.
Yeah.
95% are going higher.
I can't really hear it myself. I don't know if anybody else can.
If there's entertainment, I'll win.
Oh, you can't hear it?
So at least you get to learn from it, right?
Well, it's just that you hear it all clear. We're not going to be able to hear it clear, but maybe it's just me.
Oh, okay. I thought it was playing inside the stream. I got to get that fixed then. Okay, well, the ironic thing about this is, if you guys can't hear it, is that he's kind of like saying that 95% of the projects will basically die. But the bad thing he says is that it's kind of entertaining to watch. And that's not good. But the ironic thing, like I said, is like, you know, he's now part of that 95% that he was talking about.
Yeah, no doubt.
Do you see this right here, Max? This question here from
Swiss
Henry.
Asset Manager bailout Luna.
Welcome, Henry, by the way. We haven't seen you before, but welcome to the stream. He says, will Swiss Asset Manager bail out Luna?
That's a good question. I don't know. I have to look into
I
that
don't know.
more further. I mean, I've been really looking into this whole thing, but I can't answer that, to be honest. Have you found anything more in regards to that?
I don't know anything about that at all. So I'm not sure what he means by that. Yeah, but if he can point us to an article or something like that, we could take a look at it.
Well, hold on. He says what he meant was the poor will buy the bottom and this become the super rich. I did hear it in the stream.
Yeah.
I mean, anything's possible. I mean, hence why I bought some of these Luna, Terra Luna lottery tickets, basically.
Yeah, I mean, from what he's saying in his tweets, though, and that that release that he did with the 40%, and then what was it like? The breakdown was like 40, 20. I don't even remember, but it looks like we weren't part of the breakdown. The ones that bought after the blockchain was halted. So I don't really know. I mean, I treat it like a lottery ticket too. I mean, it would be great to wake up someday and see that, even at a penny or 2 pennies.
Right. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I mean, the whole thing is basically a gamble. Let's be honest. It's not an investment. It's a gamble. And then on top of that, just like with the lottery, that's why I call it, a lotto ticket, is because with the lottery, you don't have much, if any, of a chance to win. Same thing. We don't have much of a chance to really win, but we do have some minute chance that this thing gets turned around. So
yeah. I'm going to go back to Saitama real quick, and then we can go over. Do you want to go over to talk about
proof of liquidity afterwards?
Yeah.
Go ahead and say what you want with Saitama, and then
just the Saitama real fast. Just getting back to that for those that have joined us, I'm sure you probably heard that they're migrating over to a V2, and you said that's like in 5 days, May 18th. Max,
that's what I read. I mean, unless they changed it, but I mean, like even on my screen, it says, for instance, Saitama V2 plan for smooth migration to upgraded contract just announced by our devs. Goes on to mention, it says, know the reasons why new Saitama token will make the project stronger. Obviously, added security, fit to face the future, sustainable business. Here's what I was going to state: CEX friendly, and what they mean by that is a lot of the central exchanges don't want to be having these projects in which have 8 or more zeros or anything like that. I think the most that they'll do is like maybe 5 or 6. I know Shiba Inu, was 5 for a lot of last year, and then 4 at the end of last year, and then heck, even the other day they even added a 0, and now it's back to 4 zeros. But they claim that there's going to be more of a hyper burn. And then the other thing that stood out, it says full support for holders. It says Saitama holders will not lose tokens or value, and they don't have to do anything because migration will be automatic. Hey guys, there we answered some of our questions right there. It's going to be, that is awesome. It will be automatic and free of charge. Heck yeah, right on.
So they're just going to airdrop them into our wallets, I guess.
I don't know, but that's cool because I like the idea that we're not going to have to do dig in our pockets,
do anything.
Put out more ETH. Nobody likes
to
pay
the gas fees and also the annoyance of figuring out how to do it. Some people don't even know how to do the migration.
Yeah, and this is officially from let's see, at Inu Saitama, which
I had that up earlier.
So that's cool. And then let's see, there's another announcement in regards to. So hold on. Says it will be automatic and free of charge. Plus, we have announced initiatives to support you before, during, and after the migration process. All right. Nobody wants to feel alone in this. And then new tokenomics for V2 with 5% tax. If you guys are wondering about that, the burn is going to be 1.25%. The project funding is going to be 1.75%. Distribution will be 1%, and liquidity 1% will go to the liquidity. So this all sounds good. You know what? With the horrible news of Terra Luna, for instance, the way I personally look at it is, we were talking about like how cool it would be to, if Saitama ended up being the comeback kid of crypto, right?
Yeah.
You never know, guys. I mean, for all those people who were loyal to the end, right, with Saitama, I mean, if they really turn things around, I mean, this is new excitement. Let's face it, this is a positive new excitement. The other
I'll tell
day,
you what.
literally,
Yeah.
we had bad news, right? Of course, the big thing that stood out was Terra Luna news, but the bad news in regards to Saitama and the ecosystem and so on was what? Losing the commission. Because that seemed like that was a good thing. And then boom, I like how they just rebounded right from that, right? Kind of like in a fight. It's just like, they got hit with a really bad uppercut, right? But then they had what? A really good counter punch right here. So yeah.
I'll tell you what, boy, I was actually thinking the other day of buying more Saitama, and I was like, oh man, like I didn't want to, because I just was on the fence as to whether or not they were gonna go to a V2 or pull the liquidity. I didn't know, but I said that if they go to a V2, that's going to be the thing that makes this thing take off again, because I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Like, I almost feel like I'm dreaming, because I felt like this thing was pretty much dead, and we're just waiting to see what was going to happen with the liquidity lock. But I mean, yeah, 1.25% going to burn. I mean, I'm just kind of rehashing what you just said. Project funding 1.75%. I like the way they call it, project funding, because they can use it not just for marketing, but if they want to, use it to work on their video game or whatever. Distribution 1%, liquidity 1%. So I actually, well, I guess it's kind of good that they had the burn in there, but I don't really, at this point, like if they wanted, I'm actually surprised they only took 1.75%. Like if they wanted to take more than that, like I'm down for that. I just want the project to have the money that it needs to sustain itself and to move forward, to actually have an impact. I think that, it's crazy how there was the thing with Faltron and a lot of people pulled out. I bet you, if I had to guess, Faltron probably bought back in. And the thing with the commission too, like them pulling out, that was either them knowing that, okay, the liquidity is coming unlocked and they're going to take the liquidity, or they know that they're going to a V2. So that kind of like tipped off that they knew something, because I don't think they would have severed ties with Saitama if they weren't going to this V2. I mean, don't you agree with that, Max?
I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, at the end of the day, there's always things that go on behind the scenes. Doesn't mean it's sinister or shady or anything like that. I mean, at the end of the day, they got to discuss things among their team and so on. But if anything, I mean, this is positive news, and we definitely need that in regards to Saitama. Back to what you're saying about the whole thing of you don't know if you're going to buy more. We'll get to this comment in a second. If you're going to buy more, for me personally, I'm not. I already have $4,000 into Saitama. I don't need to be spending any more. So
yeah, I was just thinking the other day about buying it, because when it was so, with Faltron coming out and everybody kind of like, a lot of people sold off, I was like, man, this might be a good time to buy more. And I was like, nah, you know what? I'm just going to play it safe. And of course, I did like the crazy lottery ticket with Terra Luna. I think if Terra Luna wasn't going on, I probably would have focused more on, the Saitama.
Yeah,
like
that's how it is. Sometimes it's how it's. Yeah, you're right about that. So, like for instance, if the whole Terra Luna thing didn't happen, I probably would have put like, I don't know, $500 into like what some of these other projects. Like, I would at least have gotten a decent amount of, was it FitFi, right? The Step app or whatever
the
it's
Step
called.
thing, yeah. I think the Terra Luna thing just kind of overshadowed everything.
And SLP.
And last night, we were actually talking with Keith from CVC was here. If you guys missed it, you can go back and watch it. But last night's show, we were just talking about everything getting beaten up. And then by the end of the show, Max and I are off, and I'm looking at crypto bubbles, and everything was like green again, except for UST and Luna. So we're in a very crazy market right now. I don't know if it's like a fake out or like the beginning of a bull run. What's your thought on that, Max? Are we on the beginning stages of a bull run, or is it just kind of like a fake out, or just the market doesn't know what it wants to do? Like, I know the Terra Luna thing seems like it crashed it made everything like go down, especially like Bitcoin. But with everything pumping back up again, are we kind of getting out of this
We
bear
could
market?
have another dip, but I mean,
Look at that.
again,
Look at all the green.
I
Yeah.
know I don't have a crystal ball or anything like that, but I
Yeah.
do go by what like some of the top analysts show. So, for instance, like I always mention these two guys, you know, like Charlie Schramm, Luke Lango, was it Raul Paul? Raul
Yeah.
Paul. I can't ever say his name right.
Yeah.
And
He's a
then
billionaire. Yeah. Raul Paul.
yeah,
Yep.
and then also, of course, you know, Richard Hart's prediction and so on. And so,
Mhm.
based off of Richard Hart's prediction of, you know, 65% Bitcoin crash, which basically came close to that, you know, 65%. I think it was like what, 55, maybe 60%. He was almost spot on. So Charlie Schramm and Luke Lango, especially Charlie Schramm, was stating that, you know, after that big crash with this whole crypto winter thing, the, you know, bearish winter, where you want to call it, once that is over, we might see just slight corrections, you know, a little bit more of a dip and go back up for a few days. And then after that, it could very well, again, I don't want to get everybody's hopes up, but it could be very well be like one of the nicest bull runs for like 3 years. That's what they're stating. Again,
Yeah.
not financial advice or anything like that, but they have been right many, many times. There's a couple times they've been wrong, but when it comes to like, they look at the entire history. Yeah, you got to keep in mind, like, for instance, Charlie Schramm of Investor Place, he literally is part of the Bitcoin Foundation, which is like an actual thing. And he's seen it since it was $5. And like, I don't know, you want to talk about, you know, we were talking about guys who are like brilliant and so on. So like obviously Richard Hart, but yeah, Charlie Schramm. I mean, he really analyzes stuff like this. I mean, he even has he does live streams and stuff like that. Not as often as we do, right? But he does do live streams, and man, I mean, that guy has been right more times than he has been wrong. Like I would say, like literally a ratio of like maybe 7 out of 10 times he's been right, which that's high, man. That's real
Yeah,
high.
it really is. The only thing that has me concerned, you know, is the inflation. A couple things I'm looking at, 3 things. So inflation, I feel like we're in a housing bubble, and there's rumors that we might be entering a recession, maybe like in the fall. So if you like have those 3 things, you know, this is going to be a true test. Is this going to really affect those macro things? Are they going to affect what's going on with Bitcoin and the overall crypto market? I hope that we can just kind of pull away from those macro things and just go on our own bull run. But that's just, you know, me being optimistic. I'm kind of hoping that it happens this summer, and maybe things will cool off a little bit in the fall, but we'll have to wait and see.
That question, can you go back to that?
Oh yeah, we forgot to answer that. Yeah. What do you think about
James,
SLP?
we'll get to your statement here in a bit. So Duha says, do you guys think SLP will reach $1 this year? So here's the thing, guys. The answer is no. And I know you don't want to hear that. It's just based on history. At the end of the day, on any token or coin project you get into, you have to look at the history behind it. And on this particular one, when we look at all-time highs, it's going to be about 40 cents. I just remember this off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're basing it off of what it says there, but if you go to the top, it's I think it's 40 cents. Yeah, 40 cents.
Yep.
So the answer is no, it's not going to go up to $1. I mean, there's a chance. I'm not going to say there's a chance for anything. Heck, there's a chance for, you know, Terra Luna, but there's realistic chances and there's non-realistic. For a smooth love potion, that's a non-realistic thing because there's a few factors. If you're wondering what some of the factors are, again, this is used as in-game currency, if you will, for what? Axie Infinity. It saw all-time highs of about a little over 40 cents, and this was roughly April of last year. Since then, Axie Infinity, don't get me wrong, is still performing well with all this, you know, crazy things have been happening with the bearish market and so on. But at the end of the day, there's no evidence to show that it would go to $1. So, you know, sometimes I'm not saying like you're a new investor or anything like that, and I get it. If you are, you know, my hat's out. I take my hat off to you for even coming to our show and so on. And I want to welcome you because I was where you were at. Again, I don't know your background and so on, but I used to look at some of these coin projects and I would see something like, man, it went to 40 cents. Well, it could get to $1. But then I start realizing, nope, you got to look more into the history behind every single project to see, just to have something to kind of reflect upon, like, so you can analyze it and say, is this realistic? Because for me personally, like when I first got into Shiba Inu, I used to have that attitude, like, well, I'm going to get 1 billion of these, and I did. And then that way, when it gets to a penny, I'm going to be worth $10 million. The thing is this, that is not a realistic expectation now. Could that happen in, like, I don't know, by the year 2030? Yeah, it could, with Shiba Inu. What's more of a realistic expectation with Shiba Inu hitting a penny like anytime soon? No. A realistic expectation would be for it to get to 3 zeros and a number. That is a realistic expectation. So I just don't want you or anybody else to, get, I guess you could say, get invested in some of this stuff and then have the expectation that it's going to, this is going to be the candy, or this is going to be the one that gets to $1. You should see significant returns. Don't get me wrong. Like, this was obviously a good pick for us. FitFi, right? The step app, that was a good pick. There's some other ones that, we recently covered, which were good picks. But I just want to advise that I don't want you or anybody to have that expectation. I'm going to get into this and I'm going to see it, go to $1, because that's just not realistic.
We're going to wrap it up here soon, but I just want to get to the comments here. So James says, welcome, James. Look at Bitcoin Dashi. Heaps of whales are moving Bitcoin into exchanges now. Samer, welcome back, Samer. Samer says Luna is pumping up 40x since this morning. Wow, that's good. So Samer, it sounds like you're like us. We got into it. A lot of people got into Terra Luna. To me, it's a.
But what price though?
What
price did you get it at, Samer?
He must have got in like with a bunch of zeros.
I know, but let's hear it from him. What price did you get it for?
For sure. Well, here, let's see if he puts it in the comment section. Right, housing. Mr. Street says housing, auto, and the U.S. dollar is going down. Yeah, unfortunately, they just keep printing more of it, and it's kind of devaluing the dollar. We'll see if they come out with a digital dollar. That's what I think is going to be something that's going to have an impact with crypto. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Samer, what did you buy Luna at? So not really sure. But yeah,
I know you want to wrap things up. I did want to just cover just real brief. It'll only take like a couple minutes, Larry. I did want to cover proof of liquidity real quick. This was another pick that we had.
Yep.
A while back. So if you bring up proof of liquidity on my chart, Larry, of course, is going to bring up his. Let me see. Hold on a second. I'm going to bring up my watch list. Yep, proof of liquidity. So all day long, it's been pumping up past, like 100%. And some of you guys, if you've been watching a few days ago, I will tell you this much, and that is this. This, again, is just a solid utility token. It's not even a community-based token. You will not see any, like, big Twitter community-based anything on this. It's a 100% utility token. And so, for instance, like on KuCoin, if there's a lot of volume, you're going to see that reflecting upon this. Currently, what's going on, like with KuCoin and other exchanges, but mainly KuCoin, because this is the main thing that's on, it verifies what? Just like it says, the proof of liquidity in any project, right? And what's going to happen is if there's high volume, for instance, on KuCoin, this is going to be reflective of that. So, for instance, what was the big one? Terra Luna, insane amount of volume because all these people want to buy these, like lotto tickets, if you will. As a result, this is reflecting just that. For me, it says it's up over 100%. Maybe this has been refreshed since then. I don't know. But for most of the day, it's been well up over 100%. I did see that this went down to like, I think maybe close to a penny the other day and so on. So,
wow, really moving, yeah.
And then check this out. All-time highs wasn't that long ago. So if you click on the 24-hour chart from low to high, yeah, it went up as high as 49 cents. So for me personally, when you look at that low at a penny and then the high of 49 cents, for me, that was kind of like my the way I look at like Dogecoin when I first got into crypto with Dogecoin. I bought it at a penny, right? And I saw it close to
Damn.
all-time highs. I literally took $300, made 22K. These are the type of plays I'm trying to do. I'm trying to kind of like replicate that.
Yeah,
to
I
a
missed it
sense.
again.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Again, so it's like, for me, you know, I did this a while back. Like I have a bag of this, right? I don't have like a bag of like 30,000 like I did with Dogecoin. But again, I'm trying to like replicate some of this. And so when you read more about this, they have a description on this page actually. It tells you what it's more about. No, not right there, but it's actually on the actual page of CMC.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll wrap things up after I read this real quick. So if you go
Where
down,
are you seeing that? Let's go down.
yeah, just scroll down.
Oh, this right here, yeah.
Yeah, go down further and it says like what's about. So I'll just read part of this to you guys for you to have an idea. It's basically just a further backup. I was saying, if you scroll up more, Larry. All right, there, yeah. So it says the live proof of a liquidity price today is, of course, what you saw. Hold on a second. Just a second. It says PoolX is an exchange that provides liquidity for state crypto, mainly on like KuCoin and Poloniex. It is a state of free market that enables the integration of diversified crypto assets and multi-node on the public chain. Users can trade the state crypto assets in the platform and obtain liquidity. Furthermore, based on the nature of the PoolX mechanism, the node can build up a connection with the PoolX liquidity trading market to enhance its competitive strength and ultimately gather more node votes. Other types of staking digital assets will be progressively supported as the staking business matures. So, again, as the staking business matures, you're having people like myself who do what? They go out and buy a bunch of Terra Luna and they want to take advantage of the 7-day promotion. That 7-day promotion filled up super quick. I couldn't even get the 7-day promotion for 20% on my Luna. That's just one example. If you follow me on my own channel, which is Maximus Crypto, you'll know that I've covered a clear pool about 35 times out of the, 150 videos I've done. I covered clear pool 35 times. With that said, what is a staking incentive to get into clear pool was that they had 100% APY for like many months. They cut it down to 50%, but still that's very lucrative. That's a great incentive. So you have all those people who got into Clearpool and then they stake. High volume is reflective of that. It's the POL token, right? It's a utility token. It's going to verify from the Clearpool project how much liquidity is actually there. Once that gets triggered, which it does on every single sale, no matter if you buy 10,000 Clearpool or $100 worth of Clearpool or whatever, the point is proof of liquidity is used on all of their staking on KuCoin and then obviously this other exchange. There's an insane amount of volume going on as we speak. Because of what? Because of the bear market. You guys can put two and two together. You can get where I'm going with this. This is one in which it was like, wow, if this thing went to a penny, which I think it went a little above a penny. In the end, if this volume continues and we get back into a bullish market and so on, you're also going to have people who are going to do what? They're going to FOMO in because they see everything's high. It's just how it goes. So for me, this was a safe play. Again, not financial advice, but I do have a position in this. And as a result, this was a good pick as well. So proof of liquidity was a good pick that we did. Step app or whatever it's called, FitFi is a ticker symbol. Smooth Love Potion. Those are the three that stick out for us. Am I missing anything, Larry? Is there any other ones?
You said this, yeah, SLP.
As far as like having some good picks lately.
Terra Luna.
We're not trying to pat ourselves on the back or
Terra
anything, but
Luna.
at the end of the day, we do realize that. I mean, guys, I have some of you guys, DMing me like, "Hey, we realize it's not financial advice, but you have anything that you recommend?" And yeah. Anyway,
Is this going live? I think Wayne's asking about proof of liquidity. Is it going live on Binance? Do you know?
Is this going live on Binance at 7 p.m. Pacific time?
Not
I
sure.
don't think so. I think proof of liquidity is I think they have an exclusive deal with KuCoin and that one other exchange. You can actually go to it right now, Larry, just before we wrap things up. You should show them when you click on market.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Yeah, I think it's just KuCoin and one other. Yep. So those are the only two that's available on. Because it makes sense on those platforms. This was designed specifically for those platforms. So
All right. So if you want to have any parting words, and then I'll just wrap it up. I just want to let everybody know that tomorrow we're going to be on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys tune in. But if you want to just say goodbye to everybody, Max, and wrap it up, go right ahead.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. I know it's been a crazy time the last few days, everything crypto related and so on. We did have, a pretty nice show yesterday. Of course, today's show was even nice, just talking about some of these subjects, the concerns of just everything that's crypto related, and especially, the ones that stood out as far as Terra Luna and so on. Nice to see that the Saitama Wolfpack is bouncing back. And hopefully, Saitama can continue to move forward in the right direction. That's going to be something that we're going to continue to cover, not just because it's trending, but because we realize a lot of us are even personally invested into it. Larry and myself, and some of you guys, you could either be for Saitama or you're against it. We get it. There's lots of drama that comes into play when it comes to Saitama. It's just one of those things that comes with the territory with that project. But at the end of the day, so glad to have a community that continues to follow us and wants to, be part of this whole journey. And then, like for instance, what Common Sense said, again, shout out to you, Common Sense. He mainly likes the show because it's like, you feel like you can hang out with some friends, talk about crypto and stuff like that. It's not just a talk show or a news show. It's a place that you could come and for the most part, have a good time while you're enjoying a cup of coffee or, just like a little snack or whatever you're doing. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Really appreciate it.
And Mr. Street says, appreciate you guys. I'm clueless in the best investments and enjoy you guys, your input. Have a great evening. Have a good evening, everybody. Mr. Streets included. We'll dive into probably Saitama a little bit deeper tomorrow. And guys, keep your fingers crossed for Terra Luna. Let's see if it goes to a penny, hopefully soon.
Oh man, is Larry ever good on
right?
that? Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm literally praying about it. I'm like, God, please,
Yeah,
like let this be the lotto ticket.
Just one time, yeah.
Like all the talk. Last year Shiba Inu. Like if that happens, literally Terra Luna is the talk for like many years to come.
We are definitely growing, Common Sense, thanks to people like you, Mr. Streets, everybody in here, James. There's so many people in here, Samer, Henry. Thank you all. Duhas. There's a lot of people that are here regularly. Legal Alien was here earlier. Terrafin. Thanks to everybody that's out there. Guys, tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have a big announcement at the beginning of the show, so you don't want to miss that. We're going to give you the lineup for the rest of the week for coming Sunday and then the rest of the following week, I should say. So, guys, thank you so much. Be safe out there. We will see you again tomorrow night, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care, everybody.
Night, everybody.